Well, I've noticed because I'm often recruiting interns and volunteers for Giving Forward and our launch of goodbuzz.org that the schools are still cranking a lot of out a lot of journalism students, but they're all some of them end up obviously being interested in the PR side as well as some of the more advertising focused curricula, cranking out newly minted PR professionals. So, what mistakes do new PR professionals tend to make?
Yeah, let's see. I think one big mistake they make is not doing enough research on the journalists. And just as you were hinting at, like sending out the big blast without customizing and learning about the journalist. And it's something that seems efficient and like it might be effective, and it seems cost free because emails are free. But it has a huge cost to your reputation, to your firm's reputation, to your client's reputation. And it's not going to be effective. If you have that list of 1,000 journalists, there are 20 for whom it's going to be right. But if your list is 1,000 people, you can't customize every email. Whereas if you do the work to narrow the list down to 20, then you can customize it. I think another is to really set up a professional social media presence, because one big opportunity, you can't network with journalists in person now, at least not in most places due to the pandemic, but you can network with them on social media. So if you have a strong Twitter presence and you follow them and you like them and retweet them and interact with their content, then you have a big chance to get them to read your emails because they'll get to know your name. And those relationships you build with journalists will stay with you throughout your career and are going to be very important throughout your career.
Right, right. Great point. Great point. Did it acquired 3 PR agencies out of our 11 total acquisitions, and most of them, the principals were near retirement age. So I guess I'll ask the same question for publicity and PR folks who've been in the industry for 40 plus years. Right? Are there things that they miss just because of how they got to where they are?
Yeah, I think some of what they miss is that same bit on social. Some of them don't, a lot of them have. I don't want to be ageist about it, but there are some people, and even I see young people where like they start their career 5-10 years ago and they don't switch up how they work, but they don't embrace social and all the new ways to interact with journalists. I think another is that people sometimes over rely on their old Rolodex, but there's a lot of new journalists out there. Journalists are changing beats and jobs faster than ever. So, I think there was a feeling 10 or 20 years ago where it's like, hey, if I'm in this industry, if I'm in, if I'm in medical PR, I know, you're like, I know the 30 journalists that matter. I'm all set. I don't need research. I know who covers us. But right. Now people are changing jobs so much. There are new publications popping up all the time. It's like, you probably don't know, probably in the last 2 weeks, a couple of your contacts have changed jobs or right. Sometimes it's even a subtle change of focus in what they cover. Like, oh, I was writing about the startups in this industry, but now I want to write about big companies in this industry. So I think it's like, you really got to stay sharp and always be updating that network.